Grandma said he'd never use it, so Grandpa proved her wrong. My grandpa wanted a rider mower. He'd been talking about it for months, showing Grandma pictures from the hardware store catalog, circling the ones he liked with red pen. Every Sunday after church, he'd bring it up again. Grandma shut him down every single time. "We have a tiny yard, Frank. You'll use it twice, and then it'll sit in the garage collecting dust. Waste of money." Grandpa tried explaining how his back hurt from pushing the old mower. Didn't matter. Grandma had her mind made up. "You're not getting that ridiculous machine. End of discussion." So Grandpa went to Home Depot on a Tuesday morning while Grandma was at her book club and bought the biggest rider mower they had, paid cash, had them deliver it that same afternoon. When Grandma got home and saw it sitting in the driveway with a giant red bow on top, she lost it. "Frank, what did you do? Take that back right now." Grandpa just smiled, patted the seat, and said, "You said I'd never use it. Watch me." The next morning, Grandpa woke up at 6, got dressed, and fired up that mower. He mowed the front yard, which took maybe 10 minutes. Then he mowed the backyard, another 10 minutes. Then he just kept going. He mowed the strip of grass between the sidewalk and the street. He mowed the part of the neighbor's yard that technically crossed onto our property line. He even mowed the little patch of grass around the mailbox 3 times. Grandma watched from the kitchen window, shaking her head. But Grandpa wasn't done. On Wednesday, he needed groceries. Instead of taking the car, he climbed on that mower and drove it straight to the grocery store 4 blocks away. He parked it right in the parking lot, walked in, bought a gallon of milk and a loaf of bread, came back out, and balanced them on the mower deck. Then he drove home, waving at every confused person he passed. Thursday, he drove it to the post office. Friday, he took it to his doctor's appointment 3 streets over. The receptionist came outside to see if he was okay. Grandpa just tipped his hat and said, "Just proving a point." Saturday was bowling night with his buddies. Grandpa showed up at the bowling alley on that mower, groceries still balanced on the deck from earlier because he'd stopped at the store on the way. His friends thought it was hilarious. One of them asked if he got a DUI. Grandpa said, "Nope, just married." People in the neighborhood started talking. Some thought he lost his license. Others figured he was drunk. But Grandpa never touched alcohol, not since he came back from Vietnam. And he had a perfectly good car sitting in the garage. He just refused to use it. Grandma tried ignoring it at first. Then she tried reasoning with him. "Frank, you're embarrassing us. The Mitchells asked if we're okay financially. They think we can't afford gas." Grandpa didn't care. He drove that mower to the bank, to the hardware store, to the park when he wanted to feed the ducks. One time he ran out of gas halfway to the pharmacy. Instead of calling Grandma for a ride, he walked to the gas station, bought a small container of gas, walked back, filled up the mower, and kept going. The whole trip took 2 hours for something that should have taken 15 minutes by car. Grandma stopped complaining after a while. She realized Grandpa was more stubborn than she ever was. At family dinners, she'd just sigh and say, "Your grandfather's out riding his lawnmower to the store again." My cousins thought it was the funniest thing in the world. They started asking Grandpa for rides. He'd drive them around the block, going maybe 5 miles per hour, while they waved at cars like they were in a parade. This went on for 2 years. 2 full years of Grandpa using that mower for everything except actually mowing the lawn, which he still did, but only because it gave him an excuse to use it more. He racked up hundreds of miles on that thing. He knew every bump in every sidewalk, every pothole in every street. The mower finally broke down on a Tuesday. Grandpa was devastated. He called the repair shop, but they said it'd cost more to fix than it was worth. So Grandpa went back to Home Depot and bought another one. Same model, same color. Came home and parked it in the exact same spot in the driveway. Grandma didn't even argue this time. She just looked at him and said, "You win, Frank." Grandpa smiled, climbed on that new mower, and drove it to the grocery store to celebrate.